Well, whoever wins the May 7th GOP gubernatorial primary will be the favorite in November's general election. This week's debate was the last to be televised before the primary vote. 5 of Indiana's 6 Republican gubernatorial candidates participated. U.S. Senator Mike Braun opted to stay in Washington, D.C. for foreign aid vote. Sarah Whitmire reports the 5 remaining candidates didn't focus on the front runner's absence. Instead, they pushed their own platforms.
Whoever wins the May 7th GOP gubernatorial primary will be the favorite in November's general election. With Braun absent, many of the attacks were aimed at Lieutenant Governor Suzanne Crouch. Of particular focus in those attacks was her campaign's tentpole issue, a pledge to eliminate Indiana's income tax. Former Indiana Attorney General Curtis Hill said the state needs a comprehensive approach to tax reform.
The income tax, the tax proposal is a gimmick. It's not realistic.
Former State Commerce Secretary Brad Chambers says Crouch isn't credible on the issue.
Listen, Suzanne Crouch and Mike Braun, in their 50 years of combined public service, have raised taxes 50 times.
And at that, Crouch hit back.
My opponents are entitled to their own opinions, but they're not entitled to their own facts. And as a state representative, I cut taxes a dozen times.
Crouch is a familiar name since she ran twice alongside current Governor Eric Holcomb. Holcomb is barred by term limits from seeking re-election. Candidates have often attacked Holcomb's tenure, particularly over restrictions he implemented during the COVID pandemic. Hill attacked Crouch over mask mandates, saying she deserves blame for backing them too.
I believe in liberty, freedom. That's why when the Holcomb-Crouch administration announced its mask mandate in 2020, as your Attorney General, I put a stop to it.
Once a rising star in Indiana politics, Hill has struggled to keep up with other contenders' fundraising. Hill lost the Republican delegation nomination in 2020 following allegations that he groped 4 women. Also running is Jamie Reitenauer, a political novice who has promised to appoint the leader of the Hamilton County Moms for Liberty as the state's Secretary of Education.
K through 5, we're going to restore the focus on academics, unlike what was set up here on stage. There is a heavy focus on CRT and SEL that is taking up classroom time.
Chambers' leadership on the Indiana Economic Development Corporation put him in opponents' sights several times during the debate.
Big problem here is that the IEDC is a shadow government. So all these wonderful things that Brad talks about, that's fine if you're playing above board and playing with an open deck.
Former head of the Indiana Economic Development Corporation, Eric Doden, is the one candidate who didn't argue with his fellow candidates. He remained focused on his campaign talking points.
And we have more plans in writing than everyone on this stage combined.
Braun is considered the front runner in the crowded field. Outgoing Governor Holcomb has not endorsed a candidate. For Indiana News Desk, I'm Sarah Whitmire.
The political arm of Indiana's largest teachers union is putting its resources behind Democrat Jennifer McCormick in the race for governor. The head of the Indiana State Teachers Association says teachers, parents, and students want a governor with a forward-thinking and inclusive message built by personal experience in schools. Now they say McCormick will provide that.
That message will get out, and that in turn is what we believe will help drive policy change.
McCormick says she'll be a common sense voice for bipartisanship in the State House.
We are not going to survive as a state if we are uneducated and unhealthy. We have got to fight for our teachers and our kids.
McCormick is unopposed in the Democratic primary.